Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue on with Graces. So we finished all the arcs, all the Graces arcs, and now we have their, we're trying to find out who killed or who led to Mitsuki dying. So obviously it's going to be this one is the correct one, but let's go through each of them by themselves and see like what story they have. Let's say Haru led to Mitsuki dying. She drove her best friend crazy, just like that, for nothing, out of some stupid grudge. Haru killed Mitsuki. Despair watches over me in a furious wave. Frustration and annoyance are sizzling in it like a foam of the sea. Why, Haru? Friends are a treasure, why? I would have never done this to Tomo. Tomo is everything to me. There's nothing I wouldn't forgive her for. I clutch at my hair. The hat flies off my head and falls somewhere in the tangle of vines. Aki, calm down. Why? Haru. Someone grabs me by the sleeve of my jacket. The stranger's touch burns my skin through the fabric. Aki, please calm down. Don't give in. Haru, how could you? Someone is tugging harder and harder on my sleeve. Please don't give in. I don't hear. Look at me, please. I think that's what they were saying? I can't sleep. Sleep is the best medicine. Haru is guilty. Haru, without her, it will be better. I'll wake up and everything will be fine. The sound of blows echoes through the empty hallways. The old school building croaks and groans. Oh my god, this building is sick. Occasionally dust falls from the ceiling. The cobwebs hiding in the corner shake with drafts. The girl is in the building alone, although this is forbidden after an accident with a student. The boy died after slipping on paint. Her sneaker slips past the step. The girl manages to grab the railing and is now standing bent over and breathing heavily. This is where her older brother died. Because of her. Why? Why did it end like this? Because you are guilty. The girl thinks she hears a detached, desperation-filled whisper. Who's there, Mitsuki? No, not her. Mitsuki hasn't shown up since the tragedy. The girl is still angry at her best friend. If only she had shown a little concern and empathy, the girl wouldn't have had to come up with a revenge plan. Her brother would still be alive. If it wasn't for this crazy plan. She can't stand the mustiness of the old building any longer. She keeps imagining apple aroma that's making her dizzy. The girl turns and stops abruptly, noticing a small scrap of paper on the floor. Get out of here immediately. Similar warnings appeared during the summoning ritual. Weird, can a ghost contact the world of the living at any time? Doesn't it require the casting of the spell? Well, it depends on how busy the landlines are at the time. The girl shrugs perplexedly and heads for the exit. It doesn't immediately occur to her that the ghost was leaving messages on walls or chalkboards in the rooms. It never left scraps of paper. Her dumb brother was the one using them. The brother and sister pretended not getting along well with each other and almost not socializing. In truth, they loved exchanging funny notes. For a moment, it seems to the girl that someone is glaring at her back. Her brother? No, definitely not him. A threat lurks in the shadow and the note commands to flee. There is a depressing silence at the girl's home. Her parents wander around the rooms looking like living dead. It's unbearable to see their faces, gray and swollen with tears. The girl sits down on bed and frowns. She had thrown away the green poof Mitsuki used to sit on, but throwing away memories is much harder. Every object in the room is a reminder of times when ringing laughter reverberated off the walls. It'd be nice to go back to those days, though it's unclear how to talk to Mitsuki after everything that happened. It'd be great if her brother could give her some advice. He would have definitely came up with something. As if in response to a mental request, a note appears on the table. Be careful? Again, what's with this stupid hallucination? The girl misses her brother too much, so she has to come up with a mysterious message from the beyond. Better to go to the temple and pray, maybe then she'd feel better. As soon as she thinks about it, a new note drops down beside her foot. Don't go to places where the dead dwell. You're in danger of getting diseases from them. Her throat goes dry. She feels like the room is filled with a sticky, cloying aroma. What danger? What's going on? The girl jumps to her feet and starts pacing the room. Has Mitsuki decided to take revenge? What do the dead have to do with her? At least one more clue is needed, but nothing happens. Maybe her brother has run out of strength. Maybe the cloying stench doesn't allow him into the room. The ghost is like, damn girl, you too stanky. Fine then, she'll have to handle it herself. How? The girl has rarely been in her brother's room, so she hesitates for a while. Oh, she's gonna go into the room. She hears her mom's footsteps on the ground floor. The girl quickly pulls on the doorknob, afraid to be caught by the silent, judgmental gaze. The room is surprisingly tidy. Surprisingly tidy? There's stuff on the floor. Posters of famous athletes hang in the walls. There are several cups on a shelf. A room of a sports psycho. She and her brother are very alike. Get it? This room is very messy. Lionel Messi. The girl walks back and forth, trying to find a new note. A black shadow flashes outside the window. What? Nope. A shapeless silhouette floats in the air against the faded spring sky. It seems surreal, too irrational to accept its existence. However, the hatred emanating from it is all too real. It's practically burning through the girl's skin. On an instinctive pulse, the girl draws the curtains tightly and creeps towards the door. What was that? She shouldn't have come here. The girl opens the door and steps out into the hallway. But she ends up in her brother's room. Coffee break. She blinks perplexedly and turns around. The hallway is behind her back. Again, a step across the threshold and again the room. What's going on? The girl tries several more times to go into the hallway, but in vain. Each attempt brings her back to her brother's room again and again. What the hell? Her legs give way in desperation. She calls for her mom. This time not afraid but frantic to see her. Nothing. Muffled footsteps sound from the ground floor, but the screams don't reach it, dissolving into the subdued air. Terrified, the girl rushes to the window and opens the curtains. The black silhouette is much closer. It's a beholder. It's hovering across the window at arm's length. The huge eye, mottled with burst capillaries, seem to be trying to break the glass with its gaze. I would probably, draw the curtain again. The girl recoils and rushes toward the door in uncontrollable terror. She is so frightened that she has completely forgotten about the trap that has caught her in its tenacious clutches. The doorway has led her back into the room. The silhouette outside the window gets a little closer. No. Her brain refuses to comprehend what's happening. Still not fully realizing how desperate her situation is, the girl tries again to go out into the hallway. No, there can be no mistake. The monster is hovering almost at the glass. No. Her legs lose the last of their strength. The girl slides down the door, not taking her eyes off the monster. She's looking at it. It's looking at her. When you stare into the monster stares back. 5 minutes pass, 10, half an hour. The monster behind the glass doesn't move. The girl moistens her parched throat with saliva and struggles to her feet. Her first fear is past. She begins to look for a possible way out of the trap. The door doesn't let her out. What about the window? Yeah, there's a monster hovering behind it, but it doesn't move. It might be possible to get through it even though she'd have to climb down from the first floor. The girl approaches the window, cowardly averting her eyes under the hateful gaze of the ominous silhouette, and touches the frame. The monster twitches at the same second, and the girl bounces back with a startled shriek. The staring game begins again. I think the monster's gonna win if you play any sort of staring game with it. How come? Escape through the window turns out to be as impossible as escape through the door. What to do? Fight the monster? The girl scurries around the room trying to find anything resembling a weapon. Just use your fingers, just jab it right in the eye, like a baseball bat or a utility knife. Nothing. But another note has appeared on the table. Hope flares in the girl's soul. If anyone can help her, it's her brother. I asked you not to go to places associated with the dead, stupid. She thought her brother was referring to cemeteries, temples, or places like an abandoned school building. Brother of mine. This is why you should not be vague. Why are ghosts always vague? They're like, this is very important, but let me tell you this information in the vaguest, most unclear terms of all time. It's like, if you don't follow this, you will die, but do you even know what I'm telling you to do? No, because I'm vague. But this room, how could have she known? How could she have known? In desperation, the girl tears the note into small pieces and collapses on the bed, pounding on the blanket with her hands and feet. Hysterics haven't helped. An hour passes. The sky outside hasn't changed. Mom's footsteps continue to come from the ground floor. The monster is guarding the window. The girl has calmed down, realizing that she is in no danger for now. Instead of fear, hunger and thirst are assaulting her. For the last couple of days, she had refused to eat dinner as grief had robbed her of her appetite. But now, however, she is willing to trade anything for her mom's curry. Time drags on for an eternity. Drags on. The monster's gaze is annoying, but the girl hides from it under the blanket. A fierce hatred is burning her even through the fabric. But why does the monster hate her so much? Ah, so that's how it is. Mitsuki has come to take revenge. Only she can feel such an all-consuming anger. She has her reasons. The girl feels guilty, but pride prevents her from sincerely repenting and asking her for forgiveness. What do you want from me? It's all your fault. Why didn't you tell the truth? Why did you flirt with my brother while I'd been having nightmares? Some friend you were. Hey, you know, it's called a hustle. Pillow is sent flying at the window. The monster doesn't flinch, fires of hatred still dancing in its gaze. She can't help you with her nightmares, but she can help herself with your brother. After the emotional outburst, hunger strikes again. Maybe chew on some paper? Why not? The girl is really hungry. Thirst is making her dizzy. How much time has passed? Hours? Days? Feels like an eternity. Are these fortunes? What are these? Do you hate me so much? I'm sorry, Mitsuki. The girl feels dizzy. Her arms and legs barely obey her. She is freaking out at the sound of footsteps on the ground floor. Why is her mom not coming? Why hasn't she noticed her daughter's absence? Mom. In a burst of uncontrollable despair, the girl crosses to the door and tries to step out into the hallway. The monster presses its eye to the glass. Don't, stay away. Once again, the endless hours drag on. What to do? Wait around, dying of thirst? Open the window, letting the monster in? Risk leaving the room once more, hoping that Mitsuki would relent and forgive her? The thirst is unbearable. Calm down, there's cold lemonade and I've made curry. Come down, come down! Lemonade, cold with hissing mischievous bubbles. What? And food, delicious hearty food. Coming. The view narrows to a single door framed by black clouds. Coming, Mom. The girl steps out into the hallway, catching the tantalizing aromas of dinner. And something cloying. Lilies? Vanilla? The monster is inside the room. It is no longer restrained. It's approaching slowly, swaying from side to side. Look at it. No, no. The girl jerks the door, hoping for a miracle. A miracle doesn't happen. Ah! Where are you? The dinner's ready. She's not in her room. Can it be? Are you there? We accidentally let the monster that we keep in the basement out. Hopefully you didn't go into his room. No! Can we go back? Wait. We need to look at this. Where is it? You're telling me that it's not one of the scenes that I can see? So she became a doll. A headless one, right? But then there was like a happy face above it. Like, that's like messed up. That's like insane levels of pettiness from the ghost. They're like, I'm gonna cut your head off and then also replace it with a happy face, like a smiley face. That's messed up. Okay, let's do Natsumi. Natsumi, she... What? She is to blame. Hex is a dark, evil witchcraft that exists to hurt someone. How could she do this? Now I won't be able to ask Mitsuki about the Anna chorus. I won't be able to save Tomo from the terrible curse. I'm sorry, Tomo. Natsumi. Why? Please calm down, we have to. If you don't like it, fight back. Don't like it, fight back, fight back. Don't think. The wrong must be corrected. I just have to sleep and the world will come to a lulling equilibrium. Sleep comes in an overpowering wave and brings calm. Because everything will be fine when I wake up. The girl stretches out in her chair thinking about tomorrow. Another quiet day at school as the most popular student awaits her. Well, that's like, okay, fine, rub it in. The girl has gotten used to her pleasant status and has no special reaction to students looking at her with admiration. Life flows in a peaceful, measured stream. The terrible memories of the library are erased from her mind like an unpleasant nightmare. But it's impossible to forget the lifeless golden eyes. The girl still wonders how Mitsuki felt when the hex had fallen on her. She knows for a fact that her former tormentor had transferred to another school. There are various rumors among the students. Some say that the girl had lost her mind and tried to burn down the library. Some that she was treated in a mental hospital, then transferred and killed someone in her new class? A silly rumor, but Mitsuki's image is tightly associated with madness and danger. The girl frowns. Does she feel guilty? Hard to say. On the one hand, now her life is like a fairy tale. She hasn't made any friends, but students always fall silent when she passes by. Her teachers praise her and set her as an example to the others. Her parents always greet her with a smile and give her gifts. A wonderful life, but something's missing. Mitsuki. The girl replays the events of the terrible summer over and over in her head. Was there anything else that could have been done? Is Mitsuki alive? Am I to blame? I mean, you did curse her. But at the same time, she kinda asked for it by bullying you. The girl both wants to find answers and is scared at the same time, so she loads herself with studying. Just like now. Eh? Is it fine to live like this? Suddenly, someone's gaze is thrust into her back. Never before has she been looked at with such hatred. Mitsuki? After the nighttime ritual in the park, the girl started believing in ghosts in the netherworld. She can easily imagine Mitsuki, having died from witchcraft, becoming an evil wraith and casting curses on her abusers. Are you there? The response is the mute gaze of the plush toys. Her parents are swamping her with various plushies, though they would have been better off giving her a new console or a video card. Modern games are overly demanding at times, especially in these AI times where you can't buy any video cards. Toys don't move or answer her. There is no mysticism or poltergeists, but the girl's nape continues to burn, feeling the gaze directed at it. It's probably just her imagination running away from her. Be it from fatigue or guilt, no matter. Just her imagination running away from her. The girl plunges headlong into her studies and then goes to bed. She hopes that tomorrow will be easier. That tomorrow, something that hates her so much will disappear. Go away, Mitsuki. Please. Let me be popular in peace. I never wanted it to happen this way. Coffee break. Punishment. Someone hurt you. Fight back. The girl wakes up feeling an unusual numbness in her limbs. She wants to move, but she can't. Something is wrong. Her neck won't move and it's impossible to look around properly. The girl sees a wall, a nightstand, and a bouquet of unfamiliar flowers on the nightstand. Nothing special, save for one thing. It's not a room. It's unfamiliar, foreign. She tries to call for help, but it doesn't work. Her mouth won't open. Does she even have a mouth? What about her arms, legs? Someone enters the room. A familiar voice sounds. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Even though the girl doesn't see the face of the speaker, she immediately recognizes the arrogant speech and irritated notes in the voice. What was her name again? He thinks he's the most clever, huh? Sorry, Takahashi, you're very good, but ha! Right, her name is Takahashi Koime, a cute name contrasting a mean character. Takahashi sits down nearby and the girl feels her body rise briefly into the air and fall back down. Has she become so small and weightless? Why doesn't Takahashi notice that she's not alone in the room? It's infuriating. That idiot with a feminine name. The girl feels herself being lifted into the air again. Now she's in front of her classmate's face. Takahashi is the kind of person who does all she can to gain acceptance, but only goes deeper to the bottom of the social swamp. Damn, okay. She is trying too hard, crossing the line, and then she gets angry at the world. Asshole, I hate him. She seems to like a guy from another school, and that's where Takahashi has gotten unlucky. He rejected me. Me! Grrr! Takahashi swings the girl with such force that she is struck with dizziness. Despite angry words, Takahashi is almost crying with pain and resentment. The girl feels a little sorry for her. I just got this. The Graces are actually the people. That's why Haru became a doll, because she became a Grace. And then now Natsumi is also a Grace. When you feel so unbearably bad that you want to die, sometimes you say things you don't mean. I hate you, die, die, die. Takahashi shoves the girl aside and the view narrows to a part of the wall in the nightstand again. Surprisingly, pain stabs her shoulder. The girl doesn't understand. What's happening to her? Why can't she move? Why is she so small? Oop. God damn it. No, I didn't mean to screenshot it. What's my... There we go. Sorry, technical difficulties. I was trying to do the... There we go. Trying to like make out what's going on here. No, not a feeling. A certainty she doesn't want to admit. What the hell is going on? Have you decided to get revenge after all, Mitsuki? By turning me into a doll? Is this witchcraft? A hex? It's called Etsy magic. He will regret it. Regret it. Despair in Takahashi's voice is mixed with madness. I'll show him. What is required again? No! Can it be? Grab a toy, hair in the night? The girl listens in horror to the familiar rules of the hex. Furious, Takahashi doesn't realize she's muttering under her breath and every word bounces off the walls with an ominous echo. No, they're gonna turn you into a ritual. Hair. A park at nighttime. They're gonna cut you up and they're gonna put hair inside of you. The girl tries to call out to Takahashi. Of course it doesn't work. The next day, Takahashi returns from school in a great mood. She's humming under her breath and a vague hope that her classmates has discarded the idea of the hex sparks in the girl. How naive. Takahashi is happy because she was able to get a few of the guy's hairs. No points in postponing it. Don't ask me how I got these hairs either. Takahashi takes a deep breath and lifts the girl into the air. I'm sorry. You'll help me, right? Huh? Hold on. No, don't. The girl suddenly realizes the horror of what's happening. She shrieks mentally, and the inability to fight back makes the madness inside her grow stronger and stronger. No. Please don't. I'm sorry, this idiot must pay for what he's done to me. Rejecting you? That's it? He hasn't done anything to you, you idiot. If you don't like something, go and say it to his face. Takahashi places the girl on the table. Okay, well, what do I do again? Don't do anything! A horrifying sound comes from the side. Takahashi pulls out a utility knife and extends the blade. Okay, not gonna lie to you, this is actually one of like my nightmares. Like turning into like a doll, or like turning into... You ever seen the movie House of Wax? Where they turn the people into like wax statues? That movie traumatized me because there was that scene with the lady who got turned into like a wax statue. And then she couldn't move. But then somebody came by and like, hey, wow, there's like a really realistic statue of my best friend, and then he started like pulling skin off of it. Oh my god, that was awful. Oop. The girl feels someone's finger touching her belly. There's a rustling of fabric. Here we go. And now, forgive me. The drums of panic pound in her ear. She won't feel a thing, right? Ah! Ah! A mental cry is born at the same time as the unbearable agony. The steel enters the doll's belly, cutting through the unyielding flesh with difficulty. There is no blood, no convulsions or wailing. Takahashi works, sticking out the tip of her tongue slightly from the effort. The schoolgirl has no idea that the toy is feeling unbearable agony. She has no idea she's cutting a living person. The blade is sawing through the fabric that serves as the girl's skin and is often stuck. Takahashi curses and starts again. Ah! Stop! Finally, the cut is long enough for Takahashi to calm down. That's actually terrifying. And now, long fingers go into the open wound, pulling out polyester. The girl's vision blurs with pain. She prays for a blissful fate, but her consciousness remains clear and clean. But not her conscience. Dolls don't sleep. Dolls don't lose consciousness. Dolls endure. Holy shit, bars that go hard. Bit by bit, small lumps of polyester are pulled out of the girl. Every movement of foreign fingers is accompanied by a second agony. Her stomach aches as if it's been stabbed with 1,000 needles. And the agony doesn't seem to end. Alright, what's next? The girl's body is lifted slightly. Alright. Something else is put in place of the pulled out polyester. The gathered hair stabbed the insides like a sharp wire. Okay, does this guy have like mountainous use of hair gel or something? And now I need to sew it up. A needle pierces the flesh. One stitch, another one. Not that painful compared to previous agony. Done. Takahashi smiles guiltily. It's obvious that she doesn't really like what she has to do. The girl also felt guilty before the plush bear back then. She was ashamed and uncomfortable, but the hex requires a sacrifice. She is no different from Takahashi. She got what she deserved. Now the most difficult part. What? Difficult? Isn't the worst part over? Can it really get worse? Not over. It can. The girl is put in a bag. There's a strong smell of cloying perfume and cosmetics. Nothing is happening for a while, then the bag is picked up and carried somewhere. The girl chokes with horror as she realizes what awaits her. How can she show Takahashi that the doll is a living person? How can she stop her? You cannot! Mitsuki's revenge turns out to be unbearably cruel. Does the girl really deserve such agony? Isn't her repentance enough? What could she have done to avoid such an ending? The girl ponders it until her temples ache, but nothing comes to mind. Perhaps revenge itself is pointless. Perhaps this vicious cycle will never end. The trip in the bag goes on for eternity, but how the girl wishes for this eternity to never end. Alas. She is carelessly picked up by hands damp with sweat and dragged outside. The girl feels a gust of cold night wind steering her hair. No, don't! She is put on the grass. Trees rustle overhead. No! There are sounds of hard work. Takahashi is digging a hole in the ground. Don't! No! Let's begin. Takahashi presses her finger against the doll's forehead. It feels warm and moist. There's a smell of blood. There we go. The girl is put back on the ground. A knife blade glints in the light of the flashlight nearby. A small streak of blood burns scarlet. The girl knows what comes after and tries to get lost in thought, to think about something extraneous. Takahashi sighs heavily and takes up her knife. Hells take you! The blade stabs into the plush head. Wow! The world bursts with stars. Pain pierces every fiber of the toy's body. I hate you, senpai! The knife pierces the left eye socket. I hate you! Hells take you! The girl can no longer see anything. Her eyes flew away with the scraps of cloth. Shove your damn pride up your ass! You're no better than me, senpai. And your tricks are absolutely idiotic. I wish your hands would wither and fall off. Is he like a skateboarder or something? Ha ha ha! Takashi is breathing loudly, tears audible in her convulsive wheezing. I think I've overdone it. Takashi's fury has shredded the girl's body into shreds, as if she had been a living person. If she had been a living person, she would have died in the first 2 blows. Alas, she has to live and feel. She still feels a sharp pain in her limbs, though her arm is lying apart and her head is unfolded like a flower. Will the pain remain with her forever? Takahashi rakes the disheveled body and lowers it into the dug hole. I'm sorry. What's the point in your apology? That's how Mitsuki felt. That's why she got revenge. Guilt and remorse meant nothing to the hex-stricken Mitsuki. Pleading for forgiveness will not undo the wrong done. Too late, too little, too late. Both for Mitsuki and the girl herself. Something heavy and cold falls from above. Soil. Takahashi is hastily burying the evidence of her crime. But to be fair, Takahashi didn't really do a crime. She just cut a doll. She did unspeakable things to a doll, but that's not a crime. There is more and more pressure on the girl's chest. Soon she'll stop hearing anything. Takahashi has probably left long ago and is glad that no one caught her performing the ritual. She's glad and rejoices, anticipating how her victim will suffer. Foolish Takahashi. The girl's feelings dull. She really wants to rest but sleep, but she knows that from now on her whole life is an endless trail of thought. She dreams of not thinking about anything, but even deprived of her sight, she sees Mitsuki's figure leaving the classroom. Any attempt at distraction leads back to Mitsuki like an enchanted magnet. Mitsuki reading the magazine in the library. Mitsuki sitting at the desk. Mitsuki disappointed in her classmate who was unable to fight back. Mitsuki having long walks at the beach. Mitsuki, your revenge has been served. The memory of you will never fade, for there is a person thinking only of you. Forever. I wonder if, do you get them? Okay, you do get them in... I guess you can't get them here. I really wish you can see like the galleries of them, but I guess you can't. Oh, I guess you can actually. Okay, I see. So you have to, no, not this one. You have to, play through the whole thing and then go through the gallery, okay? Alright, I get it. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, I'm gonna eat something and then I'll come back and finish the game. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. More second subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the flip side.